Look, that is not clickbait. Just within the last week, DoorDash released this, our vision for the future of work, aka working on the DoorDash platform as a DoorDash Dasher. So I read this 10-page report and I took out the most important things to see, does this really matter? Is this going to affect you? Spoiler, it will. And there's some very interesting current looking and future looking statements of, yes, the future of DoorDash dashing. So listen, if you're considering having a side hustle or a full-time hustle as a DoorDash Dasher, or if you currently do it right now, this video is for you. So let's get into it. Part one, our vision. We also believe that all workers, no matter how they choose to work, should have access to benefits and protections. Think about, I guess, either of those. What benefits or protections do you have as a 1099 worker, right? Next to nothing. So they state, we envision a future of work where all workers have, listen to this, access. Workers deserve the ability to access strong earnings opportunities with low barriers of entry. That makes sense. That really is most any gig app. And that's what I do here, folks. I help you make money in different side hustles in this gig economy. But then they say we're focusing on creating a variety of work opportunities. Number two, choice. Choice whether as an independent contractor or as an employee. That is massive. So again, workers should be able to earn in the way that best suits their needs. And DoorDash says, as a current independent contractor or as an employee, that is massive. We're going to talk about what they mean there. And then number three, security. Again, benefits and protections. Benefits must be proportional to the amount that they choose to work. Dashers choose to work. Portable between work on different platforms. Can you imagine that? You have benefits, but it doesn't pertain just to your dashing, but any platform, or at least different platforms. This is directly from DoorDash. And flexible to meet the driver's unique needs without sacrificing the independence that defines this type of work. Part number two, expanding choice to power opportunity. Look at this really large highlighted section here that I wanted to point out to you. It says, the vast majority of Dashers, 85%, have sources of income outside of app-based work. Is that pertaining to you as well? Comment down below. I mean, are you doing this stuff full time, or do you have money from something else? More than 66% of Dashers say they use DoorDash to make up for lost hours or reduced income from other kinds of work. Very few Dashers, listen to this next stat, very few Dashers, only 7% rely exclusively on app-based work as a primary source of income. Again, this is all I talk about, folks, helping you make money in different side hustles. And we've seen this stat vary from 4% to here 7% with DoorDash, that most everybody's doing this as a side hustle. And a very interesting stat here, on average, Dashers nationally earned over $25 per hour while delivering from January through March of 2021. So listen, we saw at the start that DoorDash cited independent contractors and employment. So listen to this. So they say, we believe that people should have more options, including employment opportunities for those that want them. Because again, they cite, okay, 7% are doing this full time, but there is a pool that wants more predictability and possibly more solid benefits from employment. They state some people want work that is highly structured with set shifts, hourly pay, and benefits traditionally tied to employment. Let me ask you, do you fall into that category as a well, just more macro, just any gig that you're doing? Would you rather have, again, highly structured work, set shifts, set hourly pay, and benefits tied to traditional? I'm really fascinated about that. And I can give my answer down below as well, but answer that down below. They continue, they're proud of the expanded options offered to workers with the introduction of Dash Corps, a new company that is redefining logistics and management services for local merchants. Deliveries are powered by local Dash Corps employees, providing additional earnings opportunities for those seeking more structured work that we talked about. So main point number one here on the future of work is having employment opportunities, not just their traditional independent contractor opportunities. Listen to how this reads. Unlike Dashers who can, like you, currently accept or decline any delivery opportunity, work whenever and wherever you choose, very true, work for as long as or as little as you want on any given day, and leave the platform for weeks or months at a time before returning, the employees who fulfill these new ultra-fast deliveries through Dash Corps work under a traditional employment structure. They work set shifts in specific locations, receive traditional employment benefits, wear uniforms, very interesting there, report to a manager, also very important, that's traditional employment there, use a new app, and perform additional job responsibilities, including shelf stocking. This is at the Dash Marts, remember, customer support and administrative work. In addition, while Dashers on average deliver with DoorDash less than 4 hours per week, the stats that we cited prior, 90% of Dashers deliver with DoorDash less than 10 hours a week. Many Dash Corps employees work full time. So part number 3 of this report, protecting and strengthening independent work. So they talk about flexibility, deciding when, where to dash. That's very important. And ensuring that platform companies cannot impose minimum hourly requirements, force app-based workers to accept particular rides or delivery requests, or prohibit them from working for competitors or in other jobs. Again, your flexibility allows you to do all of that. You don't have to work the set hours. You don't got to wear the uniform. No manager, and you can work for competitors. And again, we talk about it here. You can decline all day. I mean, don't accept and then cancel, but you can decline as an independent contractor. So here's the proposal. Listen to this, lean in for this, drop a like on this video if you appreciate me bringing this to you. We're going to have some commentary on this as well. But the official proposal for independent workers for the future. DoorDash states, we believe the binary worker classification model of either employee or independent contractor that current law provides for is outdated and it doesn't reflect the needs of each unique worker. So DoorDash is proposing, number one, portability. Benefits for you as a Dasher should be connected to the individual so workers can move from a platform to platform. That is very interesting. Taking their benefits with them without interruption or loss of funding. Number two, proportional. Earn additional benefits in proportion to how much you choose to work. Number three, flexible as always, so you can return to, in this case, a DoorDash at any time. That remains, days, months, maybe even years. You can come right back to DoorDash and drive. Now, they talk about this Proposition 22. We've done a video on this. You can search that here on the channel. But citing the support, citing the, what we see 50% increase in positive sentiment from Dashers as they earned more and continued to work flexibly. This is after the passage of Prop 22. This was in California. And they continue to cite this future of work. Now, don't worry, this is really all proposals. We had the Prop 22 in California, but this 3 benefit process is still just that. It's just a proposal when it comes to DoorDash. But they cite Massachusetts, we can see Colorado, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, and we can see similar proposals have been put forward by lawmakers right here in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, respectively. And they're citing some stats that are pretty supportive of some kind of hybrid model, because DoorDash said themselves they're not in favor of what they called a binary of either you got to be an employee or an independent contractor. So we'll have this whole report linked down below if you want to check it out. But my initial thoughts on this is I have not seen really any gig company do something similar, that they said, hey, we don't necessarily need you or want you to be just an independent contractor or an employee. And that's great. And again, DoorDash is like, hey, if you want to be an employee, we have this Dash Corps, we have more opportunities for you. But they went a step further and said, we want some kind of a hybrid policy to give you some benefits, some protections, maybe a healthcare stipend and more. You can read that article again here. And then continuing to say that these benefits on this new hybrid model would give you access cross-platform. Now, honestly, I think that's pretty ambitious. I don't see that really garnering support from every gig app, or I should say just the industry at large, that you'd have this pool of benefits if you maybe drive for Uber, for DoorDash, for maybe Roadie or Amazon Flex, different niches, that you'd have benefits cross-platform. And I feel like DoorDash would agree with some of that. That's some of this is pretty ambitious. I think that makes sense when it comes to any kind of lobbying, or in this case, policy making, what have you. That completely makes sense. You're going to have some points that are more ambitious. But the strategy for you, really, I think the strategy here is to try to garner more and more support from drivers. Intrinsically, it's going to bring more drivers. They're probably hoping to the platform as DoorDash Dashers, that they're thinking, all right, well, DoorDash is the busiest and they have our benefits, our experience in mind with things like this. So on one hand, positive PR move, trying to garner support from drivers. I mean, we saw multiple times in this report, stats upon stats. This is, again, directly related to you. This is targeting Dashers. This is targeting drivers. The verbiage, the statistics that say continually, look, I mean, these drivers are not driving a ton. They like being independent contractors, but we acknowledge that there's a pool that want to be employees. So look what we're doing to be an employee, but you should also have benefits. And that's kind of hard to argue against if you're a driver that honestly, you don't have any benefits right now. But let me ask you, do you see this as A, just a PR move? Do you see this as B, truly forward looking? Because where are we going? I mean, honestly, where are we going with the gig workforce? Is this truly forward looking? That says, hey, it would be better for everyone if we had a hybrid model. Probably saves DoorDash some money with full employee benefits, if we're honest, but it still gives the drivers some benefits as well. As statistically, a lot of this work is transitory. It is temporary. I mean, does this even matter if you're doing this stuff for maybe like 6, 8, 12 months? So there's that argument too. Like, why would I really care? And again, the stats show most, like 85% have their main income from something else. So what is this? Comment down below. If you got value in this video, can you drop a like? Really helps out the channel and the video. Appreciate that. And you can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.